a Bible story for you about Moses, the Pharaoh, and the 10 plagues.
And the mom, that's
So
it.
that was it. Bye-bye. See ya.
Moses, an Israelite, grew up. He grew up with Egyptian royalty. He decided to leave Egypt. He didn't like how the Egyptians were treating the Israelites, and Pharaoh didn't like him anyways.
Bye-bye. I didn't like Moses anyway. I don't even care that he left. I'm gonna go get my massage.
Moses went to live in the desert with other Israelites where he was happy with his own people. Now Pharaoh was mean to God's people back in Egypt. The Israelites cried to God for help so they can be free from slavery. One day Moses was taking care of his sheep when he saw a burning bush. But the bush was not burning. How could this be? Moses wanted to check it out.
I'm gonna go check that bush.
Suddenly the Lord called out to Moses.
Moses, the bush is talking to me. Here I am, Lord.
It was God, and God said,
Take off your sandals, for the place you are standing is holy ground.
and the Lord said,
I have seen the mystery of the people in Egypt. I have heard them cry out, and I am concerned. I will rescue them from the hands of the Egyptians, and I will take them to a new land. So now go, I'm sending you to Pharaoh.
So Moses got up and wanted to obey God.
I will go, Lord, first.
So Moses goes to Pharaoh and he asks him to deliver his people.
Let my people go.
But Pharaoh says no.
Never, ever in my life. No, no, no.
Nothing could convince Pharaoh to let his people go. So God sent 10 plagues so Pharaoh could understand that it was not him who was powerful, but God. Moses warned Pharaoh that if he didn't agree, then God's power would make the Nile River turn to blood. But Pharaoh refused. So Moses stretched his staff and hand over the Nile. The water became blood. But Pharaoh didn't care. His magicians tricked him into believing they could do it too, so he still refused to let the people go. So then Moses said,
Let my people go. Never, ever in my life. No, no, no.
Next, God sent a plague of frogs. Hundreds of frogs came out of the Nile River and hopped everywhere. The frogs got into people's beds and in their ovens and on their tables. Even after Moses made the frogs go away, Pharaoh still refused to let the Israelites leave. Next, God told Moses to use his staff to strike the ground, and the dust came up and turned into gnats. Even Pharaoh's magicians could not copy this. This was the power of God. But even when Moses made the gnats go away, Pharaoh would not let the Israelite people go. Next, hundreds of flies invaded Egypt. Flies were almost everywhere in Egypt. But Pharaoh would still not let the Israelite people go. Moses visited Pharaoh again and said,
Let my people go. No way.
and the next plague, all the Egyptians' animals died. All their livestock, all their cows, horses, and sheep, everything died.
I gotta let them go.
And the Pharaoh's heart was still hard, and he said,
No.
Next, ash spread through Egypt, causing the Egyptian people and their animals to break out in big sores called boils. But still, Pharaoh did not change his mind.
No. Let my people go. I still don't want to. No.
So the next plague was a hailstorm with fire and lightning. But still, Pharaoh would not let the people go.
No.
Next, there was was a swarm of locusts like grasshoppers. They ate up anything that was left over after the crops were destroyed from the hailstorm.
I'm gonna destroy everyone!
Once again, Pharaoh would not change his mind. He really did have a hard heart. Now God caused darkness to fall over all of Egypt. For 3 days there was no light in Egypt. It felt like nighttime all the time. There was only one part of Egypt that had light. Guess where that was? Where the Israelites lived. But still Pharaoh said no. Every plague had caused pain and suffering, but the 10th and the last plague was going to be the worst of all. Pharaoh had a hard heart towards God. He thought he was the most powerful, but he was not. God said to sacrifice a lamb and paint the blood over the door frame. If the family did this, they believed in God, and the angel of death would pass over their home and keep them safe. But if they did not, then the firstborn of that family would die. Pharaoh did not believe Moses. So Moses left them alone, and that night it happened. They did not trust God and paint blood over their doorframe. The Israelite families that listened to God were safe, but most Egyptians and Pharaoh did not listen, and their firstborns died. There was a loud wail and cry in all of Egypt. Pharaoh, the magicians, and the Egyptian people thought that their gods would protect them, but they did not. Through the 10 plagues, God showed that he was the most powerful and only he could protect and save his people. So finally, Moses asked Pharaoh one last time,
Let my people go! Okay, go!
So Pharaoh let the people go, and they were so happy. And all the Israelites grabbed their stuff and their belongings, and they started their journey to God's promised land. But they arrived to the edge of the Red Sea. They were stuck, and Pharaoh changed his mind again.
I changed my mind.
He decided to chase after them.
I'm gonna go after them.
The Egyptian army was coming. And then Moses said to the Israelites,
Be still, the Lord will fight for you.
So God told Moses to lift his staff and hold it over the sea. And while Moses did this, God sent a wind to blow against the sea, and it split it in half. Wow! And then the Israelites could walk across. The walls of the water were on both sides. Pharaoh and the Egyptians chose to follow the Israelites. God told Moses to stretch out his hand over the Red Sea, that it might return back to normal. And when he did this, every single Egyptian soldier and Pharaoh lost all their chariots and were destroyed in the sea. When the Israelites saw they were saved, they sang praises to God. Miriam, Moses' sister, led the women in praise. They were alive. They didn't have to be slaves again.
We're lovely!
First question. Why did Moses leave Egypt?
Pharaoh was not letting the person leave, and she was making them slavery.
How did God tell Moses to help save his people? Where was God when he talked to Moses?
In a bush.
In a bush.
I was the bush.
There were 10 plagues in Egypt. Do you remember which one were there?
The fourth one would die, and then there was the fly, and then there was the grasshopper, there was the fly, and there was the dog, and then the rats,
The
and
gnat
the
flies.
thunderstorm.
The water that turned to blood. Why did Pharaoh keep saying he would not let the Israelites go? What happened with his heart?
It was hard and broken.
What happened when the Israelites got stuck in the Red Sea?
So he split open the Red Sea, for they could walk.
And what happened with the Egyptians?
They drowned and they died and they collected water.
And last question. What did the Israelites do at the end?
They celebrated. They went, we scared. They praised and worshiped the Lord.
So the memory verse is in Exodus 14:14a and says, the Lord
The Lord
will fight
for
for you.
For me.
For for you.
The Lord will fight for you.
Okay, guys. So I hope you have fun. And remember, the Lord will fight for you.
And he saw a burning bush. Okay, look at her. Grab your thing the right way. Okay. But once again, Pharaoh said he was sorry, but what?
What happened with the Egyptians?
They drank the blood water.